Video on the update on my buy strategy. Not financial advice, but if nothing else, I want to record it for my own purposes. The progress of it. Well, nothing works 100% of the time, as several professionals will confirm. But when I noticed this, I literally, like I said, I got goosebumps. The hair stood up on the back of my neck, and I saw dollar signs. I've had access to Larry Williams indicators since the fall of 2020. I don't know why it took me this long to test it out. Maybe it was just my own ignorance or something. I don't know. I got blinded by probably shorter time frames, day trading. Got blinded by the casino mentality of day trading, I think. But it's pretty hard to beat them on a short-term basis for the most part. Most market makers, the strategy, the algorithms, you're literally trying to outperform a supercomputer, more or less. And they know the human nature. They know human emotions. They know how to trigger our fear and our greed. And so that's why it's so hard to beat them on a short-term basis. But on a long-term basis, especially if you're tracking the smart money, I think that's the only way to play the game, more or less, as far as making any significant amount of money. I could be wrong, but this is one way I know to do it. Okay, so let me get my crosshairs up, but and this is on your basic. I mean, we could do it on Bitcoin, whatever, but I wanted to see if it worked on smaller coins. My last video, I went to Sand, USDT version, and I didn't want to do that. Why did I do that? Here we go. I just want to zoom in on it. Basically, you're looking for this 913. If you want more confirmation, search Rick Benzinger, Bensing. I don't know, Bensignor. I think so he spells it. Whatever it is. Search him on YouTube. He's got a ton of videos on StockCharts.com's YouTube channel. He started his own channel. It's called In the Know Trader, I believe, is his channel. You can watch. He's used this TD sequential model for over 25 years. Like I said, the real software costs $2,600 a month. If you go to Symbolic.com, you can get it for like $100 a month. If you want the scan engine, I think it's $70 a month. I'm not affiliated with them. I don't get paid anything to recommend them. I'm just saying, according to Rick, he says this is what hedge fund managers use. And he is an ex-hedge fund manager. He's worked for Morgan Stanley for 30 years, retired. He worked on the commodity floor of CME for 10 years, according to him. So he says anything about gold and silver, oil, he's pretty sharp on commodities. I don't know if he's as good as Larry Williams or not, but I don't know what his net worth is, but I'm sure he's at least a multi-millionaire. I would assume at least 10 million probably. Anyway, so you see a perfect 913 over here. This was, the 13 signal hit December 19th, 2022. Okay, you got your 9 right here on January 2nd. That's your confirmation. It was a perfect buy setup, or buy setup perfection, according to TD sequential rules. I don't know exactly what you need to qualify for this little green triangle, but when you see that, that's usually a pretty decent buy signal alone by itself without money flow confirming it. So you're using 2 or 3 different indicators together, and this is what Larry Williams does. I'm sure it's what multiple professional traders or investors use. You got to have the tools that the pros use if you want to be able to play with the big boys, is what I've always heard. So you've got Larry Williams indicator here. Looks like when it gets at 100, I think on a weekly basis, even above 90, technically when it gets above the 74 zone, you're getting real close to the buy point. I think you'd let this complete out 13 to a 9. If you get those two close together, that's a real good, usually a good buy point, a good buy signal coming down. And it's a top signal too if you see it on the top side. I can show you setups on the SPY. I can show you, countless opportunities, you can see. Here was a 9 coming up here. On a weekly chart, it really works a lot better than daily or shorter time frames. But here was a perfect one, December 13 of 2021. I think we all remember we were in euphoria here. It made a little higher high right here, December 20, and then it rolled over and gave up all the profits. But so this is what I'm going off of right now. I'm saying we've got 13 over here. This hit May 1st. Now, you didn't actually get a 9 down count on some of these. They don't all have it, but the majority of my watch list pretty much has it. I've got a game changer list. These are the ones I think could be game changers in the next 1 to 2 years. I think 1 inch has a good chance. I definitely think GMX has a good shot. Not financial advice, but look at this. Perfect money flow, 100. Everything hit around June 5th on a weekly basis, on a weekly time count. Now, you go to a daily, probably not bad. Let's see, where was June 5th? Right over here off of this 9, that would have been a decent buy. Now, I made a lower low right here on June 10th. Even made a lower low it didn't go lower than the lowest low point, but here's another point. You could have dollar cost averaged for 5-6 days here. You could have dollar cost averaged after this 9, by, 1 to 10% for 10 to 12 days. And then you're loaded up by your 1 bar. You made 6% in 1 day on this 1 coin. The whole move, we can measure it, get a price scale on it. Let's see, price range, and we're going to hit right. Let's just go from this point right here to right there. There's 32.5%. That's not bad. That's not a bad... What'd that take? That took like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, say 17 days. You made 32%. You could probably work for Goldman Sachs if you could document that kind of returns over a 1 to 3 year period. You could literally probably get a job working for Goldman Sachs. That's what I've been told from Anton Creel. He used to work for Goldman Sachs as a hedge fund manager. I bought his course, learned stocks and options from him. Still couldn't beat Wall Street in 2020, which I was kind of late to the party. I was trying it out, his strategy in around March, April of 2020. So I was kind of late to the party a little bit on that. And I just kind of got it, I think, in a pullback, time frame. I couldn't get his beta hedge system to work. Maybe I didn't give it enough time. Maybe I needed a little more knowledge. If I'd have had Larry Williams indicator at that time, I might have been able to do a lot better. This symbolic, I didn't start using this probably until 2021, sometime after May, I think it was. When I started using this, but you go. Let me just go through my game changer list and show you. Like I say, you go to 1 inch, Now daily, you're kind of late to the party. I call this, you're deep in the count. It's like baseball. You got 2 strikes and maybe 2 or 3 ball calls against you. Your odds right now aren't that great. Most likely this goes to a 9 count like it did here. Could go to a 13, and then it pulls back a little. It may bust out of here above the cloud, and then most likely it's going to come back down and retest it at some point. It could be over here, it could be there. That's pretty much what it does. But it looks like when the Williams gets down here on the 0 line on a daily basis, that's a decent time to take profits or put on a short sell, especially if you're near a 9 count. That looks like a pretty solid strategy. Definitely when you're above 90 to 100, even on a daily basis, you get this 9 bar, you're getting real close to go time. Now Larry says usually when it breaks back below this 74, that is usually confirmation of a buy signal. So, this one kind of head faked you right here. They probably suckered the public in or whatever. Maybe even some hedge fund managers may have took this, especially if they're doing leverage and they saw some easy money and they went, let's shake it out one more time. And that's just what market makers do, man. They're designed to steal your money, more or less. That's what they do. So, they're not UNICEF. They're not there for, charity break even. They're there to make a profit, and they're really good at it. They're very good at separating the public from their money. So just keep that in mind. If you're gonna trade or invest or day trade, you got to have ice water in your veins, and you better be made of some pretty tough stuff. And just know that you could lose every penny you got if you don't play it right. Most likely you will lose every penny you have. So just know that going in, this is not for the faint of heart at all. You got to have a little bit of gambler mentality in your veins or in your DNA to be able to sustain this kind of emotional, I don't know what you call it, damage, collateral or catastrophe. I don't know what the exact word is, but I'm getting sidetracked. Let me just go over my game changers on a weekly basis, and like I say, you can make up your own mind when there's short term ways you can get in. Hindsight 2020, I can look at a chart on the backside and say this was the perfect time to buy. Super long term, I don't know, probably November, the last crash. But have we made a lower low since then? Yeah, we have. You look at a weekly right here. This is lower, I believe, than June 13th of 2022. Everybody said this was the bottom. Well, it wasn't. You went October, November. Everybody said that was the bottom. That's the lowest low. The bear market's over. Well, no, it wasn't. We've made a lower low since then. June 5th of 2023 was the lowest low so far. Is it over? I don't know. You tell me. I don't have data on this one, but I don't know. Let's go to Aave. Let's go to something that actually has data that goes back. I don't have a money flow on that. Let's go to Atom. Maybe it's got data. Let's go. Yeah, here we go. All right. So see, here was a decent buy point on Atom. This May-June point of 2022 had a 9. Your 10 bar, what I call 10 bar. It doesn't actually put a number on it. You topped out on 100 on a weekly basis. You had a perfect 9 buy perfection setup. It worked like a charm. You rallied out of it, went to a 9 count, 9 weeks. You actually got more than 9 weeks of price action on that. You had your 10 bar was it actually made a lower low on the 10 bar. But this one here, you had 19% gain in a week, went flat. You had 8.5% there. I mean, that was a pretty nice rally point on Atom. You know, let's put a price scale on it. Let's just find out exactly how much money. Now, nobody was going to time the bottom perfect. That's pretty hard to do. Why am I not getting a price scale here, bro? Put it on that. Come on, bro. What's the problem, bro? Why won't this work? They don't want me to know. What the heck, bro? All right, whatever. It is what it is. Probably because I got it on here already, but let me zero this out. Do I have it on here? It's not showing up. I don't know why it's not working. All right, whatever. Let's see if I can get it to work now. How about right there? No. How about right there? No. Here. Oh, you piece of crap. Go to crosshairs. Come back. Yeah, thanks, Symbolic. You're not working right, bro. Come on, man. What a piece of crap. Well, that's not a real good advertisement for Symbolic. Y'all got to work on your software there, bro. Okay, anyway. So right now you've got this setup, right? You're above 74. You whipped its head above it. You head faked. Now you're back down. You're coming back down. So that's the way the hedge funds trade, the smart money. They're selling all the way down on they're selling right here every week that price action's going up. So they dollar cost average out when it's going up, and they dollar cost average in when it's coming down. That's just what they do. And they hedge their bet on a daily basis, probably, or at least a weekly, monthly, 90-day basis. I don't know what they use, but I've heard they mostly put their trades on from 3 to 6 months, for the most part, probably through options and future contracts, if it's available. But now, Atom's not a great example. Aave, you got a perfect 913. You know, you've already had your one plus 3 count. That's what I call this. You can't really see if I could take the Ichimoku off, that would be a lot easier to see the price action. Let me take all this propulsion, and I like the propulsion on, but sequential, I like having that for the moving averages. Just cleans it up where you might see price action. Now these red lines, you're up against resistance on all this. Depending on the volume, depending on the momentum. I mean, this could easily go to the what do you call 137 zone. I mean, really, from 78, 67. I mean, it's a pretty significant bounce. Worked pretty good on this one. You didn't have a 913, but you got a nice rally out of it because I think this was your buy signal. You got above 9. Hey, all right, you hit 89.37, so you didn't get above 90, but it was still a nice setup. I mean, it didn't go 9 weeks, but you didn't get your perfect 9 count to the upside. But I mean, right here, you're at a 92 on the week of June 5th. You had one little down week, 2%, 2.5%, and then boom, you made 35% on your 11 bar. I call that 11 bar because it's you get your 9. Actually, you did. This one right here is 35% after the 9. So that's why I'm saying you could dollar cost average on your 13 bar. You could do 25%, 10%. 1%, 5%. You buy something, so you got some skin in the game in case it rallies on the 9 bar. I mean, nobody knows. Nobody's got a crystal ball. This is the closest thing there is to a crystal ball. I could throw Williams cycle on it, see what it said. Maybe it got it right, maybe it didn't. I don't know. Let's look at Williams cycle. Let's throw that on there. See what it said. Most of the time, it's not going to have enough data to be able to tell. Atom work. Yeah, we had a little cycle on Atom here. 9. See, it said it was going down. What happened there, Uncle Larry? That didn't work. Now it's saying we got some up action coming as of July 31st. Looks like could be a bottom point. That's a massive up thrust, if you want to call it. I don't know. Could be right, could be wrong. I don't know. Larry likes to use a seasonality also. I don't know. I haven't used it enough to be able to trust it. I can't trust it. You've got a seasonality indicator that he uses. He says when you get both of these, your cycle and your true seasonal going up in the same direction, you've got a real good chance of you getting your true direction of trend, reversal more like, at least continuation, or it's already technically in an uptrend for now, just because you made your low point, you're higher than your low point right now. You're in a plus 1-2 week environment. I call that an uptrend. Anyway, we can eat up on. I'll make another video on the cycle and the true seasonal. Everybody likes to see that because I know I do. I got hooked in it. I fell for it. I thought I had a crystal ball with that indicator. Turns out it's not accurate enough to really be able to bet the farm on it for me. I don't trust it enough. Maybe I just haven't used it enough, but I don't know. I just don't trust it. So, but I do trust this because you can plainly say that it works. Now you can see in black and white that it works. When you get above this red line, this 74 zone here, over here is your 74, that works off a 9 count, especially if you see a 913. That's money. That prints money. Now you didn't get a 9 count here, possibly, I don't know if it was a perfection setup or what. I wish TD Sequential would leave the number count on so you could see what it was, but I could pull up TradingView and we could look at it. Might as well. Let's go to Atom on a weekly basis. And let me pull all my lines off. So remove the drawings. Okay, let's go to weekly on June. And it looks like you had a 7-8 count according to this free version of the software. It's not as good as the real thing. It saves you from numbering the candlesticks yourself, but it doesn't give you price action, it doesn't give you propulsion, any support and resistance. But once you learn to mark your own support and resistance, that's anybody can do that. You use a Fibonacci tool, you can calculate that pretty easy on your own. But so Larry, I've got a discrepancy with Larry on this. He says Fibonacci doesn't work. Maybe he just doesn't use it right. It's not perfect. I'll give you that. It's not going to hit your 786 every time. But a high percentage of the time, this is on a weekly basis, it pulled back real close. I think you can go off this 702. I put that in there myself. I think that's in between your 618 and your 786. It may not be true Fibonacci math, but to me, optically, mathematically, in my mind, that I think the 702 should be there. But I don't know if anybody else uses that. Maybe put something in the comments if you know the true math or whatever of Fibonacci. You can Google it. I'm sure you can figure it out. But You just do whatever you work. But I think the 618, for the most part, especially for crypto, it may not work that much on stocks or commodities, but it works pretty good on crypto. I can say that. And it closed above this 786 here recently on June 5th, the week of June 5th. So technically what I've heard, as long as your 786 holds as support, you're most likely going to rebound and continue up off of that. Now, if you had broke this and closed below it on June 5th, you probably come down to this 1.236, according to Tom DeMark. Might have even got a 618. I don't know what that would have been, but I can add it to it. Go to your style. Give me a 1 point. Where's my 1.618? I don't have one. You kidding me? What are you doing over here? 1.618. Let's put that in there. Hit OK. Where is it at? I don't have it still. What's the problem? What the problem? Let's see. What's going on? Did I hit the 1? I hit the 1. Why is that not showing up? I got 3s. I don't need 3s. I don't need 2s. There's a 1.618. Why is that not showing up? It may go plumb off the chart. I don't know. Maybe it may go to 0. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's just not working on Atom. Maybe they don't want me to know. Anyway, so maybe it's a conspiracy. I don't know. I don't really care. And my older system, my street light system, it's saying you're in reversal type environment. You go red, you go yellow. It's like a reverse street light. Usually green comes next. You see what happened on this one. I mean, you were yellow all this, but you went green for a little while and you went back to red. Elder is elder. It works sometimes it don't. I don't know exactly how he calculates it. Probably off some kind of average true range, or maybe it's momentum based, volume based. I don't know how he calculates it, but I don't really care. Let's go back to daily format. So what I'm saying on daily, that's not bad on a daily. Atom on a three bar, usually 3 bars pull back. In my opinion, on crypto, TD sequential model, this model, I see the 3 bars a lot of times pull back. They reverse. I don't know why. You get a big 1 bar. Sometimes 2 bar does what it did yesterday. If it's, I think if it's a big enough up thrust on the 1 bar, a lot of times you will get some reverse. It's based on profit taking off the day traders, short-term investors, probably some market maker activity, trying to shake out leverage traders, whatever. And then your 3 bar is continuing a little pullback today. So a little weakness on Atom. Bitcoin doing a little bit of the same thing. Of course you created a 1 sell bar. I call that a -1 selling activity. So this may come down probably and test your support. You're in a sideways flag pattern, pennant or a flag. I'd call that a flag. Eventually this is going to break to the up or break to the downside. Now, you can bet the way you want to bet, but if you go to Commitment of Trader Report, which Larry Williams uses this a lot. I mean, he says this is the game changer for him, and he's a professional trader. So you pull up the dealer information, and hang on, my dog's freaking out in here. What is your problem, Rowdy? Get in here. Come on. He doesn't like to be left alone. He gets separation anxiety. Whatever it is, man. So you can see their net position is increasing right here. If you go to the, I believe it's was it table? I think it's the table. Yeah, they increased their net long position. The dealers did. This is the big money, the smart money. They increased it by almost 40%, 39.7% last week. Okay, this comes out every Friday at 3:30 Eastern time, I believe. I don't think you can beat it. I mean, that to me, that's all I need to see to buy the dip. I mean, when you see this, now Larry does say you need more than just 1 week of big money increase. So we've got at least 2 weeks now of big money increase. Now they're still net short. Their net position is minus 3,363, so they're still net short. They're more short than they are long, but they had a pretty significant increase in their long position, and they reduced their, I believe, now they increased the short position by 1.4%. So they're hedging it both ways. Their spread, they call that the spread, the amount of difference between their long and short position. No, Rowdy, stop. You're not going back outside. You went out 37 times this morning. Go night-night. Go in there, go night-night. Leave me alone. Quit being Turd Ferguson. All right, here we go. Back to the video here. Okay, back to your regular scheduled broadcast. All right. So that's what I'm going off of. You know, if you want a crystal ball, nobody's got one, but you know, we can try. That's all we can do is go off the information that we have in front of us. I mean, we're card counters at the blackjack table in Vegas, okay? You're trying to do the best you can, and that's really all you can do. You know, you can use the indicators that are out there available to the public. Now, you have to pay for this one. The money flow, you're going to have to pay for Williams money flow. You can't get it for free anywhere that I know of, unless somebody hacked it on TradingView that I don't know about, and they're probably charging for it, even though they stole the algorithm, or the coding. So, all right, let's go to AVAX, my game changer list. Let's go through. You got good money flow. You got a 9, you got a 13. You got to buy that. I mean, that's, you see over here, it happened again in January. A 9-13 perfection. You had above average. You didn't hit above 90. You hit an 83. So, you know, on some of these smaller coins, these altcoins, you may not get a 90 or 100. You know, maybe you only get an 80. Maybe you get anything above the 74, though, seems to be working pretty good. Now, you didn't get a huge uptick, but, I mean, look at your next week after your 9, you made 38.9%. You see it right here? I mean, it's right there. The change is 38.96% in 1 week. That's a 7-day period for crypto. You made almost 40% on your money in 7 days. If you bought this 9 bar, you could have bought some on the 13 bar, dollar cost average. I wouldn't go all in because, you know, I mean, you never know. But it can go sideways for 12 bars. It could, you know, it can stall out. Just depends on the accumulation phase. But, man, that's about as easy as it gets. For me, I've been looking for some kind of long-term strategy that works a high percentage of the time. And for me, that's only 2 instances where it's worked. So, you know, I need one with more data. Here's one that worked. Perfect setup here. You got to take that. Man, I mean, after this 9 bar, what'd you make? You made 18% in 7 days? And you haven't even got started on your +1, +2. This could easily go to a 9 count. And I could go 3 or 4 bars up and then go right back down. I'm not saying it can't, because, I mean, this one kind of did that to us. In January, you hit, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 bars. You went up 4 weeks. All right, and then you pull back. So we could get that again. We could get a little 4 head fake and then pull right back. I think that that could be a possibility. And then we could see your September low. September, October is what would be my educated guess. I'm not going to disclose where I got that information because I don't have that person's permission. But I wish I could show, my source, but I can't reveal that because I don't have his or her written permission to do that. So I can't disclose trademark or copyright information without his or her consent. So, and I'm looking right here. This one whipped its head. That's not that great on Bitcoin. I would have preferred to see this like over here. I think you get a 90 to 100. That's you got to take that every single time. You get the 913. You got to take that. You could have dollar cost average on the 9. The 10 bar was pretty good. And you made a lower low. That was June 13th. Everybody said that was the low. It wasn't. Everybody said November was the low. Technically, it made a lower low, I think, right here. 15,476 and 15,588. So you made a little bit lower low right here on November 21st. Everybody calling the bottom, and so far it has been. I mean, you see on a weekly basis, it's making higher lows and higher highs. For now, that's an uptrend. There's no doubt about it. That is an uptrend. As long as it holds that trend line right there, and you could draw a trend line on it. I don't know where I draw my trend line. If you want to cheat it, I'd probably draw it right there. As long as it holds that one, I'd say you're definitely in an uptrend. Now, if it breaks below that and closes below that on a weekly basis, you got to change your thesis. If you make a lower high and a lower low on this next move, which you already made a higher high briefly, you didn't close as a higher high yet. I mean, you still got another day of this week. This is Saturday, July 15th, but let's go to Doge here. Now you got a perfect 913 plus 2 count. Now you could get a 3-bar pullback on a next week. It could pull back. If you do, I think might be a decent buy opportunity. Engine 913 plus 2. You got your money flow above 90. That's beautiful. Ethereum, you didn't get above the 74 on Ethereum, so it's not as perfect as this one over here in June last year, but I really thought there'd be more money flow on Ethereum. We can pull a commitment of trader. I can't do it on this. Let me see. Commitment of trader, and we can go to crypto Ethereum. Pull the dealers. See, their position on Ethereum's coming down. Their net position, they're sellers of Ethereum. According to that, at least on this week, they're sellers. They increased, pretty good increase on the seller volume. The long volume looks pretty flat. The spread came up a little, I guess, from last week, but let's look at the table. So their long position minus 1%, not huge, but they increased their short position 49.4%. That's a pretty big increase of short selling on Ethereum. I hadn't looked at that until right now. You look at, here's the public money, the non-reportable. They're reducing their short position and increasing their long position. The public, all the public is gung-ho and thinking, we're going to the moon. I'm not 100% sold on that. According to this, that could be a problem. So you're still net short, I believe. Yeah, your dealers are 354 short, 188 long. Okay, so they're still net short. The spread increased 3 points, I guess. The total position net open interest decreased from last week. That is a problem. You watch your leverage money if you want to try to pick a top. Leverage money decreased 43% long. Decreased the shorts and the longs. So they liquidated a bunch of money last week. This is Tuesday's data, though, coming out reported on a Friday. So a lot can happen between the last time they reported was July 7th. Okay. So that's measuring what happened. This is data. This is Tuesday's data, July 11th, getting reported to the public on July 14th. So it's a little bit delayed data. So we had the big move around this 12-13 period. I think, well, it was the 13th, I believe, was the big move day. So actually what they report next week on the 21st will be Tuesday's data from this Tuesday to this Tuesday, from the 11th to the 18th. Most likely that will show some kind of increase in the big money. If not, you want to try to figure out where the price increase on the chart is coming from. Is an easy way to explain it. If the price increase on the chart isn't coming from the big money, the dealers and the smart money, then it's probably coming from your public money, your non-reportable, or it's coming from your leverage. And if it's either one of these, it's probably going to get bet against sometime in the near future. That's according to Larry Williams. You can look up his book. I think it's something about how to trade with the insiders or something. I don't know the exact title of it, but so you got to watch that and try to figure it out. Read between the lines where the money's coming from. Okay. Last week, your long position, I guess it was coming from the public because it was. That's the only one that increased, according to that. 0.7% wasn't. That was, yeah. So that could be a problem because the dealers, the smart money, always bet against the public for the most part. I mean, sometimes they bet the same way, but usually if it's a significant amount of money, it's easy money, it's low-hanging fruit for them. They bet the other way against the public, and the public usually loses 90% of the time. So at least 90. With market makers at least with market makers, it's probably closer to like 99.9% of the time. Maybe at least 90. Anyway, so okay, we're still on the weekly. We're on Ethereum. Not a perfect setup, but it's decent. Gala doesn't even have data. GBTC, there's your grayscale. You had a 13 over here on February, but you didn't have money flow. This one you had real good money flow. That was easy money right there. This one, not huge money, but you had a 9. You had above the 74. you know, you got a little 3-4 week rally out of it, made some money. Not a lot. You made 5%. You know, I'm not really willing to risk my daughter's college fund on a 5% gain. I guess that's not bad to make that in 7 days, but GMX, you don't have enough data. I think you got to go back at least 3 years. Looks like at least 3 years to have Williams Money Flow work on a weekly basis. I guess he needs like 150 candlesticks. I don't know, weekly. I don't know what he actually calculates with it, but this is GMX. Let's look at Injective. It doesn't have enough data. That's unfortunate. Link's been around long enough. That was a nice setup right here. I wish June 5th. I wish I'd have had this signal. If I would have known about this, I don't know how I missed it. There again, I don't know how I missed it, but I did. Like I said, we were celebrating our anniversary, and I missed it. So my bad. Took me 3 years to figure this out, but you could have made 19% in a week on 7-day period. The very next week, if you'd have bought the 9 bar after the 13, perfect setup. You made 19% in 7 days, and it's not done. I mean, you're up 13% this week. So now you had a little pull back on the 2 bar. You about 6%. This one made 6.2. So you broke even on this two weeks, but then here you made 13.3% this week, and that's not done. You still got another day. Still got Sunday. Hopefully it's not a bloody Sunday, but all right, let's look at Matic. You got a 13.9 perfection. Pretty good setup. Above, right, just a little above 90. You had your 13, you get your 9 bar next week. You made 11.5%, 7 days. This week, up 16.6%. That's a pretty good week for most people. Pyre hasn't really took off. You don't have enough data to calculate. You do have your 13 over here that hit May 8th. I like this plus count. That's a pretty good indicator usually. I don't have enough data to show another point on the chart on it. I guess it hasn't been around long enough, but this last time on this one, on render, looks like it did pretty good. And you made it here 34% on that. That's a pretty good percent gain. Let's see. You're on a 1 bar going up on render. That's decent. I think that's a decent buy point. Ruin. I've got a professional I subscribe to that has a sell signal on Ruin for some reason. Maybe he doesn't like the price action. Maybe he knows something. I don't know. Maybe he's looking into their fundamentals probably. Over here you got money flow coming in. I don't think you can bet against that. I would, not financial advice, but I mean, you could have made 20% in a week if you took that trade. Another 6% there. Almost 4% this week. Let's go to Sand. Let's see. The last signal was over here in January, December. Set up January, first week of January. Perfect. Next week, you made 46% on your money. Let's see. Sand, Solana. Wait. Go back on Sand. Sand's got a decent setup. You had the money flow. You haven't got you got a 13 over here. Technically, you want to wait to this to confirm. I keep an eye on that. Solana, Super. Let's look at Super. Super doesn't have enough money flow for me. Maybe it just doesn't have enough data. I don't know. But you had a good 913. You're coming off a 9 here. You got a 1 bar. It'll probably work. I mean, everything goes up. It's going to follow it. Theta had a perfect 913. Had your money flow. You got a +2 count. I think you got to take it. I mean, that's easy money right there. Coming off a 9. Didn't have a huge gain on this yet. It hasn't made its huge move. This week you're up nearly 12%. I don't know. I'm not all that impressed with Theta, but I mean, I've tested their video platform out. It's nowhere near YouTube's popularity, in my opinion. But anyway, Ultra UOS, you have a perfect 13 count. June 12th. Next week, you made 14%, nearly 13.5. A little pullback. This week, you're up 5.5% on a 2 bar. You could have overhead resistance at 21 cents. It could go to 27. Could go to the moon. Could go to 38. Could go to 38 cents. Could go to the previous high, September of 22, or September 5th of 22. Looks like this doesn't go back to November. I think it was higher in November of 21. But let's look at VET. Here again, you had a 913. You've got pretty big money flow coming in on it. You're on a 3 bar. Didn't pull back. You're up 6.5% so far. That one pulled back last week. 1 bar made 11%. 10 bar was 23.6% after the 913. That would have been your best time to buy, most likely. Hindsight 2020, old Monday morning quarterback or Tuesday morning quarterback. If you're watching Monday Night Football, but here's your 913 last year, June 13th. Set up, you made 5%. Didn't really do a lot, kind of went sideways. Then it started rallying. Made 15, 16% in a week on VET. When it takes off, it can move, but you don't have enough data to go past August of 22. You can see your 913s. This was perfect, June 13th of 22. Like I say, nothing's perfect, but that's the best odds you have to go off of. That's in blackjack terms, that's like getting a +26, playing one-on-one with a dealer. Most likely you're going to get some face cards coming out on the very next hand. You get a +26 on any blackjack table in America and the world. Most likely you're going to get some face cards on the next hand. That's the only time they say to split tens if you have a +26 on blackjack. I know that. I read like 5 books on blackjack, but so I definitely have a gambler's mentality. But and that's what we're doing here. You're betting on the odds of success, a probability that's in your favor at the time when you risk money, and that's what you're doing. It's gambling. It is gambling, no matter how you want to sugarcoat it. If you're betting money on future price action, I think that's the definition of gambling. But you can Google that, confirm that, put it down in the comment if you want. But so yeah, that's what we're dealing with here. You got money flow at 100 right here, June 5th. I wish I would have seen that on Zill. That's beautiful. On a 13 count, could have waited for the 9. That went up nearly 20% on the 9 bar. 10 bar, you made 4%. 1 bar pulled back 5.5. The next bar this week you're up nearly 10%. Now you could get a 3 bar pullback. My guess somewhere in this low range, somewhere in the 0.01961 zone. Could dip down into the green line, 0.014. You could get a shakeout, a holy cow shakeout bar. It could come down to this magenta line at 0.01281. Nobody's got the crystal ball, but you kind of got to look back and see, and it's not going to repeat perfect. Here you had a 3-bar down that reversed. When it reversed 3%, 3.5%. I wish I could find an instance of weekly. Let's see, 3-bar here went up 75%. February 8th of 21. I was in the bull market. Those were good times. If anybody remembers that time, I was just getting my feet wet in 2020. I got in around this fall of 2020. I think, I didn't even know about altcoins. All I knew was Bitcoin at that time. Didn't even know what it did. Didn't know what I had. The first 2 coins of Bitcoin I bought, I did a day trade. I bought them for $13,500 a piece. I bought 2 of them. Probably should have just held them and took a couple years off and just worked on my suntan or something. Wrote country songs or learn to play guitar or anything. Anything's better than day trading every day of your life for 3 years. It's been educational. It's been fun. If nothing else, I've got an enormous amount of education. May have developed a slight ulcer, slight OCD problem probably, but that's another thing Larry Williams says. He said if you're a perfectionist and you want to, everything's got to, you want to get down to the last penny or micro penny. The perfection price of the bottom and the high of the move, day trading is definitely not for you. Even short-term investing is not for you. But you got to kind of let that go. You got to just say, hey, I did the best I could at the time with the information I had. If you made money, pat yourself on the back and enjoy the win. Go buy yourself, buy yourself something nice. Buy your wife or your family something nice. Enjoy the win, enjoy the money. Don't forget to put back I think it's decent to put your tax money aside. Don't forget about your taxes. If you live in America, Uncle Sam gonna want his money. He gonna want his cut. Now, financial advice, I'm not a CPA or nothing, but I think it's a good idea to put the taxes aside. I've heard of people that had huge wins in 21. Maybe they did or maybe they did not pay their taxes. I don't know what happened, but then 22 hit and they took a huge loss. I don't know if they were day trading or whatever they did, but now they don't have their money to pay their taxes, or they didn't have the money to pay the taxes in 22 that they made in 21. Could be carried over into 23, whatever it is. I don't know, but that is a huge problem. If you don't have enough money to pay your taxes, and it's easy to do, I guess. It's easy. If you have a huge win, you've got to set aside that tax money if you live in America, because you're going to have to pay it, or they're going to come after you and garnish your wages or whatever they have to do to get that money. So anyway, that's my list of game changers. It's not perfect, but I don't know. I like Arbitrum. I don't have enough data on it. I like Aptos. I like Ape. You can play them. They're high risk, but higher risk. Arweave. I like Arweave. It's got a decent 913. Nice money flow. Not much data. It just now started printing money flow. It started printing May of 23. I like Atom. I like AVAX. I like, this Balance. It's got a decent setup. BNB, I don't know. I'm kind of like Rand Nooner on this one. It's got a nice setup, though. Good money flow, good 913. You're on a +1 bar. Went up 7% this week. Bond, I don't know. Bond, you don't have enough data. It does have a 9. You haven't completed your 13 yet. So at any time, your next major down bar is probably going to print the 13. You had a 13 over here. Your Coin 98 or whatever this is, 913. You don't have money flow yet. Cody, 913. You got money flow, +2 bar. Pretty good setup. Doge, DOT. I lost 10 grand on DOT. I'm just boycotting it because I'm still a little bitter about that. But it's got a 913 +3 bar. Didn't pull back. 2-bar pullback, 7.5. You got money flow. That's a pretty good bet. You could have made 14.5% on it on the 10-bar. DYDX 913 plus 2. Looks pretty good. Don't have enough data for money flow. EGLD, you got a 9-bar plus 2. You had money flow here. Not huge money flow like back here, but decent. That's decent setup. I think I already looked at Injective. It looks real good. 913, got your money flow plus 2. Could get a 3-bar pullback. EOS, nice money flow, 912. I prefer to see that 13, but I think you're starting your plus count. It's following everything else. Here's a 9-bar money flow. Here's a 9-bar money flow. See what it did afterwards. These are weekly candlesticks. Here's your weekly. Can't really see any other instant. Here's another one that worked decent. You got like a 4-bar rally on this. 16%, 20%, 6.3%. It's pretty convincing evidence that this works. I wish I had data. ERN's pretty new, but see, this doesn't even register your 74. There it is, 74. You barely got a little tick. I mean, this barely, like July 3rd, it started tracking the money flow. I don't know why it takes that many bars to confirm money flow, but all the way back to June 21 is when it started trading, probably on Binance is usually what I set up on this. Let's see, we're on Earn, ETH. ETH looks good. It's not perfect. You don't have huge money flow, but you didn't get a -9 pullback. I don't really like that setup. EWT 913 a long time ago. I think I called that one on a video back in May. If you'd have took that trade, you done pretty good on this 1-bar. You made 12%. That's kind of went flat since then. You gave up profit probably, or at least your break even if you took it. If you bought the end of the week on the 9-bar, you bought it at 2.43, and let's see, it's at 2.66. So you're up 20 cents if you took that. It did a head fake, what I call the Batman ears. See the Batman ears here? Or your M, like a M formation. Head fake, what I call it. Now you definitely, I think once you broke that trend line right there, coming down, I would probably take that week as a buy signal. You give up 2.4% off the bottom, but not bad. It's not bad. Definitely once it breaks this, but usually that's going to be your 1-bar. So you miss your majority of easy money, what they call easy money. I mean, if you buy over here anywhere in 913 dollar cost average, then when you get your 1-bar, hopefully you're all in. You already loaded up your position, and then you just take it for a ride. If you want to take that 12%, you sell it, anywhere near the high. Or you can ride it for, hopefully you get 9 weeks out of it. I mean, who knows? I mean, I've kind of got a little problem. My gut tells me we haven't truly bottomed out yet. We're not in a great environment economically, I don't think. I'm not an economist, but if you follow it's the ISM report. I think it's ismreport.org. I got this from Anton Creel. ismreport.org, I think it is. No, that's not it. Maybe it's .com. I don't know. How do you find it? Let's just pull it up. ISM report. Let's find it. ISMworld.org. That's it right there. Yeah, I paid some good money for this information. I paid probably close to $2,400 to learn how to find this for free. Free information to the public. Been Been in business since the 70s out of Tempe, out of Phoenix, somewhere in Arizona. This company, they track the manufacturing report. As long as this number is below 50, you're in recession type environment. I don't care what the Fed says or whoever the report, the employment data, whatever the government is telling you, whatever lies they're selling you on CNBC. As long as this number is below 50, you got problems. And if you'll track the Yellow Jackets on YouTube, they go over this report. This comes out the first Monday, I believe, first trading Monday, unless it's a holiday, somewhere around 9, 10 o'clock Eastern time. Yeah, Tempe, Arizona is where they're out of. Read this report. It tells you, all your backlog, your new orders. New orders is very important. Backlog, very important. You can go through here. You can literally get stock information to tell which industries are leading. If you're in the stock game, you need to be reading this. It says right here, of the 6 biggest manufacturing industries, only one, transportation equipment. Wink, wink. This one here, registered growth in June of 2023. Demand remains weak. Production is slowing due to lack of work, and suppliers have capacity. There are signs of more employment reduction actions in the near term. So you just got a job, you might want to keep that thing. And not there again, not financial advice or whatever, but as long as you're seeing that, you can't go all in. I definitely wouldn't go all in on stocks. I'm not rolling any of my 401k in right now because until I see this reverse, your economy is not getting stronger until you see that number start getting better. That 46%, until you see that start ticking up, that's not good. That's not good. This went down 0.9 percentage points lower than the previous month in May. It was a 46.9 last month. It literally tells you in May that's what it was. So that, your supplier deliveries index, 45.7%, is higher. I'll give you that. But like I said, you go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. I'll show you where to find it. Let's see. The people I subscribe to, all right here. It's manufacturing, whatever this is. Manufacturing Talk Radio. Search that on YouTube. Find these guys. My daughter's been logging into my thing here, so now I'm watching SpongeBob over here. Let's see. A month ago. Go to the videos. Their last one, 4 days ago. Q3, very bumpy. 2 weeks ago. So you'd want this one. No, not that one. True cost of ownership tools. Probably this one right here. Welcome to Q3. Please prepare for a very bumpy, soft landing. 12 days ago. Only 3.8 thousand people watched this view. Everybody on Wall Street should be watching this thing. How are y'all not watching this? If you're in the stock game, here we go. This guy right here, man. This is the guy. He's the guy that does the math. He's the guy, I think, pretty much. It's a recession, he says. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Oh, like I say, I haven't watched this video, but I'm going to watch it as soon as I get done with this video. Because these guys, they have called the bottoms and the tops pretty much of every recession and right before a major price decline happens. If you'll watch the PMI indicator, it's called PMI, whatever it is. It's purchase. What does it stand for? Manufacturing PMI is what it is. Okay, so you're looking for that. I think it's, what's it stand for? It's manufacturing PMI, whatever PMI stands for. You may have to pay for this. You can get the business report. You can see where it topped out. They give you a chart right here. Here's whatever, probably June of 21. You see your manufacturing was above 50 right there. It's been declining massively. Now, it bottomed a little bit in the spring, rallied up a little bit, and then right back down, rolled over. So, I mean, this is a very good tool. Like I say, especially if you're into stocks, view that report. Now, you can also view your services index and your hospital index if you want to play pharmaceuticals and hospitals and all that. Your services, there's more employment in your service industries. That's your waitress. That's your nurses, your doctors, your lawyers. That's your employment right here. But your manufacturing is your big money that truly, I mean, that's the business owners. And so if they're not doing good, most likely that's going to trickle down to employment at some point. This right here literally tells you which industries in order from high to low, strong to weak. Four manufacturing industries that reported growth in June are printing and related support activities, non-metallic mineral products, primary metals, and transportation equipment. Okay. 11 of the, 16? I don't know how many there are. There's 4 plus, so that's 15, 16? I don't know. These are all weak. So if you wanted to bet against something, I would definitely bet against these. Definitely bet against, not financial advice, but I'd bet against, I don't know, beverage, tobacco, I don't know. They usually do pretty decent during recessions, but machinery, paper products, fabricated metals, that's your washers and dryers, your refrigerators, appliances. Housing is weak. Appliances aren't going to do too great. Electrical equipment, it's not going to do too great. Manufacturing, miscellaneous, chemical products, textiles, wood products, that's your Home Depot, Lowe's, plastic and rubbers. I don't know. Tires, maybe. Big old tires. I don't know. Michelin. I don't know who you'd bet against on that. Plastic and rubbers. I'll tell you how you can find it. You go to finviz.com, my friend. Okay, let me show you this. I'm just giving away this information. This is probably a $10,000 education video. I'm just giving this away to the public. You're welcome, by the way. You're welcome. You get a lot of pop-ups on this, but it's free information. Okay? You can't beat it. I mean, okay. So you come over here to your screener. You're going to load this up. I haven't used this in forever. So you go to your industries. All right. So we want to find something strong. All right. What was the strong one? Or even want to short sell something. But, if you're going into recession, you're probably going to make more money betting against it. But right now, everything's kind of going up. I think next week we could easily go down on stocks. So let's look for some kind of machinery, maybe. Let's look for machinery. Okay, let's go to, and sometimes these don't fit. You got metal fabrication, marine shipping strong. So, transportation equipment at least is strong. Your metal fabrication's weak. All right, let's look at metal fabrication. Okay, these are all your stocks that come up under metal fabrication. You want to find one that's weak. Let's see. I'd probably go fundamental. And you could look for, get one with forward P&E. Negative. Forward P&E, definitely good. Look for something weak. Let's see. I'd probably go technical. Throw an RSI on it. You can find one that's overbought. You probably can't find one, but overbought, above 70, they don't exist. Overbought 60, you got 3. ARNC, MLI or MLI Mueller, I don't know. And you got Worthington Industries. They don't move a whole lot. That one's already starting to roll over. It looks like on the chart. That one's rolled over 2 days. That one's kind of flat. It doesn't do much. Probably going to fill that gap, that ARNC. It's going to fill that gap in May, most likely. I'll show you the chart of it. See right here, this gap right here, from here to there, that's a gap fill that hasn't filled yet. That could easily come down to this 24, 25 zone, whatever that is. The high is 24.04 on that candlestick. That could definitely make you some money if you wanted to short it. Not financial advice. You can do it. You do you. You do what you want. But non-metallic mineral products, primary metals, transportation equipment. I don't know about transportation equipment. I mean, there's always a backlog on it, back orders, whatever it is. But I know that there's transportation equipment on here. I can't remember the ticker symbol on it. Something like TRN, I think, or something like that. Let me see if I can find transportation, QRST. So you kind of got to read between the lines on some of this stuff. You got trucking. That falls under transportation. But there again, if you got a weak economy, your freight is going to suffer at some point too. So I'm not 100% sold on. Let me see what. Who's your big, like Werner? See, they're down. That's downtrending. Who's another one? Who's a big one? Who's a big dog? One. That's all we got here on trucking. Sure. Covenant's a big one. They're trending up. They rolled over. They may have topped out. Knight, you got Martin. They're a big one. They're in a downtrend. Old Dominion, that's a big one. They're still uptrending, but they could be topping out. Let's see, Schneider, that's a big one. They may have topped at 29. Universal, Warner, Expo, Yellow Freight. They haven't broken the downtrend line. I don't think I'd put any money in it. I don't want any part of that. But I've always heard tobacco and alcohol still do good during recessions. I've heard that. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not gonna put any money in Budweiser. I know that, just for personal reasons. But you do you on that. But I'm not giving them my money. I can tell you that. Nothing else. They don't pay a decent dividend. Beverages and wine distilleries. All right, let's take a look at this. You got Splash, you got Fresh, you got Vineyards to bet on, you got Eastside Distilleries. I mean, these aren't all that great. That one's in a pretty good. I don't know what they're doing, but MPG Ingredients, Duckhorn Portfolio, Napa, they're not doing good. SBEV, who's this? SNDL, they're not looking great. STZ is a decent one. Constellation brand, they're doing pretty good, still in an uptrend. You got Vine, not great. Vintage, not great. Wilmette, Vine, all these. I was going to bet on one, it'd probably be STZ. And they may be topping out pretty soon around 260, but what was their last quarter? June 30, they had minus 63% earnings. That's not great. That's a bad signal. Now, you do have Ford P&E. You don't have a P&E here, so they're not profitable, I guess, per Wall Street standards. You got 10,000 employees. Quick ratio is a little weak. That needs to be closer to a 1.0. Current ratio is decent. They're above the moving averages. Decent volume. Price action, everything's positive for the year, for the week, monthly. Year to date, they're up 10%. Really? I mean, 10%? That's the best you can do? What was that crypto? I can't remember what that crypto mining. Look up crypto mining stocks. I wonder if you can find that on the screener. What they got crypto in the industries. That'd be awesome if they did. I don't know if they do or not. Yeah, they have crypto. I don't see any. What's up, FinViz? You got to get some crypto on here, bro. What's your problem? All right, they don't have it. Well, mining. They might have it under mining. I doubt it. That's probably metal or coal, probably under mining, but there's no mining. I can't believe y'all don't have mining. No ETFs. Here's tobacco. Go back over here to tobacco. You want to bet against tobacco? People are going to start smoking. They start getting laid off, losing their jobs. I don't recommend it. Here's Philip Morris. Look at that. Straight up since June. Boom. Vector, British, Hempico, what was that? He's straight down since May. I don't know who the big dog is. Market cap, you can rate them by market cap. There's 2 million. There's the big dog, Philip Morris. Yeah, MO, kind of. Yeah, it's still down. Yeah, I could have broke it. British. America, Vector, Greenland. Man, that took a dive. Look at that. Since June. No thanks. So anyway, read this. Right here, it literally tells you what respondents are saying. This is what the CEOs are saying. Now, they can't say which CEO says it. But read these comments, and you can tell, and it literally tells you which industry they're in after every comment. Computer and electronics, slowing U.S. economy, chemical products, customer orders have definitely slowed down. I mean, all that's not good. Tobacco, even. There's an elevated level of capital project review as recession concerns loom. Spending and planning are being managed and prioritized. You want to look for positive words or really bad words here. And try to read between the lines. When you see strong order backlog, this is in primary metals. That's probably a pretty good sign. There again, you're looking for primary metals. Probably copper, silver, gold, aluminum, possibly. I haven't pulled charts of these, but let's see. Gold starting to peek its head up. Silver definitely having a rally. Platinum rallying. Copper's coming up. Platinum coming off the bottom. Could be a little opportunity. Silver definitely broke above previous resistance. Could go back up to the 26 zone. Looks like. Silver. I know a guy I follow, he just got in a silver trade. He made some pretty decent money. He dollar cost average off the 200-day moving line. Done pretty good off of it on a weekly, I think, basis. I don't know. Anyway, keep all that in mind. You can use it if you want. If you want to learn it, I think it helps. There's a Pyre Bay daily buy signal. Let's take a look at this. That's Pyre BTC though. So that's Yeah, that's not daily. I don't know how that signal happened, but I mean, you do have a higher day than you did previous. Pyre's doing okay, huh? Okay. If you want to see my portfolio, right here it is. This is everything I'm in. Not doing bad today. Doge peeking its head up. Hello, Doge. Make me rich. Make me rich. Pyre's up 5%. Nice. Solana still 5%. Ultra, XRP. I got a small position XRP. I wish I had 5-10 grand in it, but I did not. Kind of missed the boat on XRP. You know, if you're not in, you're going to have to wait on a pullback because you can't buy that. That could easily pull back to this 65, 64 zone, possibly even the 57 on XRP. It could be a pennant flag. Could pennant flag for a few days and then blow out. You know, I'd look for a breakout above this 93, 94 zone. What was the high? 93.23. If it breaks out above that, you're gonna have some fireworks. Probably go to $1 pretty easily. Dollar could even go to $1.50. I don't know. Let's pull XRP up on crypto. Let's get a daily, weekly. It could go to $1.18. Looks like $1.18.1. Now you've definitely got resistance here, 84 cents, and you got this resistance at 73 cents. So you one bar, man, you're up 55% on a Saturday. That's not bad, you know. I take a look at it tomorrow, Sunday. Might take profit if you want to. Not financial advice, but it's probably going to test this 59.60 cent zone at some point. You see your previous resistance right here. You could put it right there on your close bar at 51.8 or 50.518 is definitely a support zone right here. 0.53, 0.51, somewhere in that 51.53 zone. It's going to test that at some point, probably next week. After you have a blow-off week like this, you're almost guaranteed people are going to take profits. You know, your short-term investor, traders, day traders, they're going to sell. That's what happened, you know, on your daily basis. You had a blow-off top, blow-off. That's really a 1 bar. I mean, it's numbered as a 4, but I would call that a 1 off the price move. Then your very next day, you sold off nearly 12%. Now today, you're rallying slightly, 1%, 1.3%, but so that's what we're looking at. I'm going to shut this video down. That's getting a little windy, getting a little long, so it's going to take me forever to upload this one. So that's what I got. You do you. Make your own decision. You know, it's your money. It's your decision. Keep an eye on your money. Take profits when you can, or somebody else will take them for you. I don't know who coined that phrase. Craig, I think, on Sheldon's channel, Crypto Banner. That guy's pretty good. I'd like to learn from him. He knows a lot. He's a veteran. He's OG. He's OG, kind of like me. You know, I've been at this going on 11, 12 years, I guess, and I've learned a lot. Still learning. I still try to learn every day, at least every week, you know, when I can. I try to read books when I can. I try to study other people's strategies. I'd like to learn more money management. I think there's a lot to be learned there. I believe Larry Williams recommends a guy named Ralph Vince, I believe. I'd like to read his books on money management. It may be way over my head because this guy's like super math genius, I guess. But I need to read his books on money management. Anyway, we'll catch y'all later.